All right, we're back for the next episode of Destination Success Podcast. This is Mike Warmer here. I'm a partner, Sherm. Sherm, how are you?
What's going on? I figured out all the start-stop buttons,
I
and
know.
we're good to go today. So there'll be
Really,
no retakes.
I know. We really need a producer. That's what we really need.
Well, it's crazy because the software you have to hit like the start button twice.
Right.
Last week I wasn't paying attention, and then we got done, and I was like, "How come it doesn't say end recording?" I'm like, "Oh my god, did I really do it?"
Yeah, the first
But
take
we
was
wound
good.
up.
The
Yeah,
first
well,
take
we
was a
went.
good one. That's right.
I don't think the second one was that bad. I think we kind
It's
of
not
knocked it.
bad. But you're always humbler the second time around when you know.
Well, you're trying to remember what you said the first time, so you try to copy it.
Right.
But yeah, no. So we got a good topic this week. I think we
we're going a little different direction we normally do. So
yeah.
we are talking about community-based stuff now a little bit. We're embracing people with disabilities in business, and I know we both have experience in that world. Here at home in our partnership with Home, we have a company called Thrive Real Life Independence, which we help people with disabilities get placed in businesses, and it's a mutual beneficial thing between the business and the employees. So it's just a great thing. And we're also doing some coaching for the state of Delaware with people from the Division of Rehabilitation. So there's a lot of great programs out there to help folks that just need a hand, and it's a right thing to do as business owners.
Well, it is, and to be honest with you, as a business owner, if you don't know about it, you don't know about it, and it's not. I don't think it's because it's funny. I've been doing this since we were at the Newcastle County Government Center across the street from Easter Seals, and they used to come over for breakfast, and then one of the directors over there came over and said, "Hey, would you mind helping us evaluate some of the students over here because they're trying to get jobs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And then what happened is somebody, one of my buddies, was working for the food bank, and they have their school that is partnered with the it's a Delaware Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and they also partner with organizations with team members that have disabilities. So I've been doing this, man, almost probably about 14 years now. You know what I mean? Like it was very shortly after I opened up at the Newcastle County Government Center that I got started. So, it opened my eyes to understanding how businesses can partner with organizations like Easter Seals or the Down syndrome has power, and then you guys are at Thrive, and to open the doors for people that want to work. I mean, these staff members, they want to work. Like they very rarely miss days. You know what I mean? And they want to come to work every day, and it's in this era, it's really good when you have staff members that can do that.
Yeah, and I had somebody that I know very well that was in a wheelchair years ago, and he told me, when he looks at somebody with disabilities, he always says, I am as able as anybody else. And I think that's important for, and just giving folks those chances. And to your point, really comes back to you as an employer, having a great onboarding system, having a great training process, and giving someone that meaningful work to do. And it's a great opportunity, marrying those two opportunities up.
I agree with always having a great onboarding system, but I disagree with that. The message is that it's not about it's understanding that everyone has a lane,
right? And
you have to understand that these staff members have a lane, and they're great in this lane. As long as you understand that and moving forward, and they come with a coach as well. So know that you're not going to figure this out all by yourself in the midi. Like I'm in the food industry. We have a kitchen. All but one of our staff people are in the kitchen. So one that does dishes, and there's 3 to do prep, and then we have one that does prep out front for from the logistics side, getting us ready to get the things out there. But they excel in that. We give them a list. There's a list that has their name on it, and we check what they need to do. And once you hand them that list now, you basically don't have to talk to them the rest of the shift, because they want to knock that list out. They know what they're and they take care of it. So you're gonna have to adjust your onboarding system to a staff member.
Well, and like you said too, having a coach too, and I think that's when we have these kind of workshops to explain this opportunity and how important business. I think a lot of businesses don't realize that you do get that coach, right? And as an employer is using that process, right, to explain that whole process, how beneficial is that coach?
So it's awesome because the coach specifically knows that candidate, and that's the new staff member, so they know exactly how they're going to interact with you, whether they are extremely verbal or they're not. Like some candidates really don't talk that much or that well, and then others like to talk a lot. So, and it's funny because we have both spectrums in the kitchen, where we have one candidate that really loves to talk, and we have another person that barely. I mean, they talk and they communicate, but they don't like to talk and communicate. So, they're really average employees that just have a little bit extra magnification to certain areas. You have employees in your staff that don't like to communicate. You know what I mean? And you have employees that don't shut up. You know what I mean? So it's all the same thing. You just have to understand there's a little different way to tweak how we interact with them. Your communication has to be a little bit different. Your methods of doing a little bit different. And that's the beginning part with the coaches, that they help you understand that this is how you directly relate to this person, and this is how you directly relate to that person. And they're there because they are the person that they're used to dealing with, because they normally start with that coach way prior to coming to your office or your workplace. So they're already comfortable with them. So, you can start just directly talking to the coach and then work your way into forming that relationship with the new staff member,
Yeah. And I think, and we read entrepreneur.com all the time. They have a lot of great lists. And one of the things I did research on was, if you're fortunate enough to have somebody with disabilities in your organization, there's 5 ways that they say, of all the research they've done, that they maximize your company growth. And I think they're very spot on. It's, they are resourceful and go above beyond us. We see that all the time. They are fiercely loyal, which 100% agree with.
Yes.
Their tenacity leads to efficiency. They radiate positivity, and they thrive in a routine, right? And I think that's important. And again, if you're fortunate enough to be able to a company that's helping, promote that diversity or disability, you're getting a positive benefit from that.
You do, because it helps continue to cultivate the community growth that people are working. They're working hard and they're working as a team. It also, believe it or not, it helps your communication skills. The age old, everybody should understand what I'm saying. It's thrown out the window, because you definitely have to clearly define your communication. I don't want to use the word over communicate, because it's not really what you're doing. You have to clearly define your communication skills with this sector of staff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when that happens and you're doing it on a regular basis, now you have reevaluated that skill in that term, and now you're actually better communicating with everyone else. Whereas before, you probably weren't communicating as well as you should have, because you thought you didn't have to really communicate. But now that you are defining your communication into the details that you really should be overall, you're doing it better. And I couldn't agree more that, we've only had one case where the people weren't smiling, happy, and positive out of all the people that we have taken from from any of the organizations. And Carol has been with us, and I want to get this right, so I'm going to look it up because I'm always shocked that to find exactly how long our one person has been with us at Brandywine Boulevard. It's just like it doesn't seem like we've been doing it with her and with them that that long. You know what I mean? Like when you look at it, like it comes up in my payroll software. Like they give us everyone's anniversaries, and like the last time our anniversary came up, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" So I'm just like, seriously. So she has been with us for 6.5 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and and then the candidates we have from Thrive have so Carol's from Power, which is an organization through Autism Delaware, and then you guys at Thrive, we have one candidate. I believe he's been there at least almost 2 years now. Like it just seems that the time just flies. Like where you're. Yeah, it says 2 years.
But that's a testament to the program, right? I mean, the various programs are out there. There's half a dozen great ones out there to rattle off, but it's a testament to the process works. And again, if you're a parent of somebody with a child with disabilities, you want them to have meaningful work, and organizations like yours are giving them meaningful work, and that's just a incredible give back and win-win all the way around.
Yeah, and I guess the misnomer is that you're going to have to constantly like over supervise, and that's absolutely not the case. Like once they get the tasks that you're, that they're good at and that you have a list for them, they just knock it out. Like you just have, you have to remind them like you have to remind anybody else. So it's either to stay on task or that this is next, like, or hey, I need these done. But nothing crazy, it's just regular task, regular supervision, once they become comfortable being there. And that doesn't take that long. I mean, honestly, it's a couple weeks max. Sometimes people jump right in, like the new dishwasher you guys just sent over, like literally the first day everybody looked in the kitchen and go, he's going to be fine. Like he's going to be great. You know what I mean? Like, so, it's just, like I guess it's, I've been asked, like originally, like when we first started with the Down syndrome and Power, the board chair came, I was dropping off the menu for one of their galas that they wanted us to do. And some of the board members were like, so how do we get more companies like you? And I said, to be honest with you, we don't know what we don't know. You have to go out and tell people.
You got to educate.
Like I didn't know this was a thing until it was introduced to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I have been employed by a lot of employers. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't just have to be physical labor. CAI is another institution over where Pride's Crossing is, where we have the cafeteria, and they do customer service on the phones. They do scan entry for the state. They have the contract where they're doing the scan entry for all the deeds and wills and all that stuff, where they scan it in and make it digital. So like there's multiple areas that you probably have a tedious job that some people don't like, that this fits their lane 100%. Like you look at it as tedious, but it's tedious because it's repetition and it's repetitive.
Right.
That's where they excel. Right. But that's where this group of employees excel, is that if you can give them the same thing to do over and over and over and over again, they're gonna crush it, because that's how they excel, is they can rinse and repeat every day, all day, and it's not something that bothers them.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, there is a lot of myths associated with these types of programs, and the reality is it comes to leaders lead, right? And it takes leaders like you and other businesses that want to give back to the community. They want a quality employee, and they just have to, take the time to understand it. And like I said, the biggest benefit I see is that coach that you get, right? You're getting that
here.
coach. And I think that's really important. And that becomes the ultimate success factor with, with all of that. So, and just so, Sherm, obviously we have Thrive here, but I know you've dealt with a lot of programs. Just to summarize, what are some other great areas that folks can find quality employees with disabilities?
There's a ton, man. Like, so the Christina School District has their own program when students age out of high school, they go to, I believe I want to say Connections, but it's something like that. It's off of 72. They run a janitorial, a kitchen, and a thrift shop and printing, I think, all in that little building right there. Like, you're going to go down where BJ's is on 72 and hang a left, and then they're back there in the corner. You can Google it. Just and they do the same thing. We used to have interns when I was at Christiana Memorial Hall. We used to have interns come, and then we would have them work with us, train them in certain skill sets, and then we would grade them to go out and get a real job. It was awesome. Like, it was awesome to help like that. Then you have, again, Power is another big player. You guys just started a few years back, and you guys are doing a great job. You can call Easter Seals. And I'm probably missing a ton. But if you call Easter Seals, Easter Seals is a huge proponent for this area of employment pool. If they don't have them, they'll tell you the other agencies that help. Because they probably pull out to all those agencies from Easter Seals in order to get people more jobs. Isn't there Chimes? And then there's the other. What's the other one that's back behind the courthouse when you go down like 9th or 10th Street on the left there? Elwyn. Doesn't Elwyn do the same thing too?
I think so. Yeah.
They live there.
Yeah, it's all there's a fit for everyone, and this is one of those spaces that everybody's trying to do the right thing. And and we see on the coaching side, we do a lot of cultural diversity planning with corporations, and Entrepreneur Magazine pulls out a great quote is, diversity without accounting for disability, people with disability, is not diversity, right?
Yeah.
So it is an aspect that, you're losing out if you're not taking advantage of gaining the help from somebody with disabilities. And so if you have any questions, reach out to us.
Yeah, I mean, if you reach out to Mike, you can always inbox me. My experience. I'd be gladly. There's pluses and minuses to everything. Everything doesn't always work perfectly, but neither does a normal employee. So let's be real about it. Like, it's just, the biggest thing is originally getting started, and then once you get started, you can redevelop your working platform around how it all works. We've tried servers, and it's tough. It's tough to because it's a very interactive position, and in this community that's a little difficult for them. But
you hit it right on the head, though. It's about the lane, right?
Yes.
And that's paramount for your entire organization, right? You have to get the right person in the right role, and that's your job.
Sure. Yeah. And you got to fill all the spots that need to be done. And there's things that just people, like we have one person right now, she comes in every day and she fills up. So when you get like a sandwich tray from us, you get the little mayonnaise and mustard and relish and all that kind of stuff. Well, we have a ton of that. We have the little cups for our individual meals. We have applesauce and fruits for some of the meal plans we do for hospitals and other organizations that order individual meals that are rated for like adult daycares and stuff like that. So all those little things have to get done, and it's like they just they thrive and do well in that situation where the average person doesn't want to scoop 150 applesauce cups. You know what I mean? They love it. They get it done. It's done. There's no question about it. It's 150, not 149, not 152, because they're
spot on.
Skill set is that they're going to count them exactly, and they give it to you exactly. So it works. We put them right where they're great and excel, and then it works for us that it's getting done. We don't have to worry about it, and then and we don't have to put somebody there who's complaining the whole time. Oh, I can't stand cupping up the ketchup or the mustards or the relish or whatever it is. They just do it.
The positivity is just such there. They're grateful for the opportunity. you're going to tremendously benefit as an organization, and it's just a win-win. I mean,
It is. It really is. And to be honest with you, originally I didn't necessarily start this because it was the right thing to do. Somebody came in, and I want to be transparent about it.
Yeah.
Like, you've said that like 9 times since we've talked, and
Yeah.
it is the right thing to do. But what I'm
Right.
saying is, like, they came to me and said, "Hey, we have this employee that would love to work. Would you be willing to give them a chance? We give them, we give you a coach for free, and we'll make sure it works. If it doesn't work, we'll give you another person." And I figured, what do I have to lose to try this? You know what I mean? Like, and then after you do it and you see how it's working, that's when the feel good comes in. You're like, wow, not only am I fulfilling a position in my company, but I'm also giving someone an opportunity that apparently as I didn't realize that this was an area that needs help. You know what I mean? Like, so the feel good comes second. The initial was like, I need help, and they're bringing me help, and you also not only get help, I'm getting a coach, and I'm like, can't we do this with the regular employees? Like, how do we get a coach for some of my regular employees? But the point was, and then the length of time, then it just grows. I mean, we only had one person for the longest time, and then people kept coming, "Oh, can you get one more? Can you get more?" And I kept, like, I don't know if we can, do it that way. And as we grew, I was like, you know what? There's no sense. Like, we still have all these tasks that people don't like. They love to do. We just schedule them all together in shifts where this is what they do on that shift, where everybody else is, doing what they do better, and they do what they do better in that shift. And, that's how we've grown to having, we have 5 now. We have, the dishwasher. Well, we have 4. Yeah. No, 5. I'm sorry, 5. Yeah. So, and it's just been.
And listen, as a leader in business, right? You're giving people with disabilities not only the chance, but you're giving the platform to grow, right? Because in your organization, they can learn. You're contributing to their growth, and then overall, they're proving to the fact of how important this is.
Well, it's important for both of us. Right. As an employer, it's important that you're doing everything you can to help the community and the people in the community be successful. Yeah. And then as the employee, they feel, empowered that they are contributing as well. Like they're, like they're coming and they're doing what everybody else is doing, where they go to work and they come home, and, it's, it's a good thing. I don't talk about it a lot because it's just, at this point, I consider them staff like everybody else does. Yeah. I mean? Like, it's, they all come to work, and, and they're all part of the team, and, like, it's not something, I guess, extra to me or something different to me, because we've been doing this so long now that it's just who we are as a company. So,
All right. We have come to the end, my friends. We will see you next time.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. And let's, we'll knock it out.
All right.